Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to part 4 of Demko Modelworks on the 350 refit, the 350 refit Reliant conversion kit build-up series. Just taking you through tonight and showing you a little bit about what I've gone through and done. I'm sorry for the noise. It's 27 degrees outside and I've got a heater going in the background, so you'll have to apologize the noise. Sorry. But what I've gotten through, I've gone through now and gotten my seam pretty much taken care of through here on the saucer. So now what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to get me a compass and go back through and draw, to where I can rescribe that line right there. I'll have to make my center of gravity, my center point somewhere on the, I'll have to go through and measure this piece on the BC deck and then go back through and then find the halfway point, the center point, and then take my compass and then kind of redraw a line with a pencil, and then I can go back through with my scribing tool and rescribe the line. So, but still haven't gotten too much more done on this. The fact being is there's just so much work that you have to do to this kit that to get it worthy, paint and everything and the lights laid in and get it to where it's got to go. I still got to go back through here and make the fill in these gaps on either side right here. I have to cut this down just a little bit more to kind of get it to where it'll set in straight. This side over here is pretty much level. I just kind of have to start laying in my filler, and may have to go back through and going to re-drill the holes a little bit to get it to where it's centered, where it's not showing. But then I'm gonna have to go back through and do my putty work on my saucer section and get it ready to go for the paint and stuff. But it's getting close to being ready for paint. Still got a few holes to drill, but what I've gone through now and done is gotten all my putty work done on this one side for the shuttle bay. I've decided to just order the brass parts from my buddy Cameron and put that in there, and once we get all this filled in and stuff, it'll be nice and neat, and we'll get that blue light effect that goes around on it. Had a bit of a gapping issue on this side. Had to take some sheet styrene and kind of fill in there and put one piece here and then one piece here to kind of close in that gap, because it was there was a real big gap there. I guess my when I was cutting the resin, it cut back just a little bit too far. But I got it all filled out now, and I'll still got a little bit of putty work to do here, but it's coming along, guys. It shouldn't be too much longer before the brass gets here for the for the officers' lounge and several of the other places too. So but tonight I'm going to take you through, let me move this out of the way real quick. But what I'm going to do now is take you through the nacelles. I've gone through and have the nacelles done now to where modified, and pretty much what I've had to do, and let me zoom in and show you pretty much what I've done. There's had to be quite a bit of work to be done on this. First of all, you got to go through, if you remember, the bottom of the refit had that third little hump, or that second little hump right here, and you have to go through and shave that off. So that's what I did, is I took my Dremel and a cutoff wheel and cut each piece off, sand it down, and get it ready. So now what I'll do is I'll get some sheet styrene and on either side of this nacelle here, and just enough to where it sticks out to halfway. And then when I get it together, what I'll do is take a piece of stripped styrene right down the center and glue it in, and that way we'll have our base for our hump. And then I'll go back through and fill it in with putty, and we'll sand it off, and you won't even know it's there. So, but what you have to do on this, and this is, I was talking to a gentleman on Facebook about this today. He was asking how you modify this, so that's how you do the modification part on the bottom side. But then you have to take, if you remember, on the refit has these three humps that come, at the very top, and then you have one that goes down a little bit further. Well, that third hump on top kind of makes it exactly where you need it to be for where these are going to sit. And so what you have to do with these pylons, you have a lot of sanding that's going to have to be done. There's some sanding that's going to have to be done on this one. I did it on the other one, but you have to kind of sand it down and kind of get it to where, get all the rough edges and everything off. It's a lot of work, and this piece right here was a little bit longer, and what I did is I measured off about a 1/2 inch and then cut the rest of it off to where I have a good solid piece on the bottom there to get it to where it'll mount into the nacelle. And the brass tubing that come through here was a little bit longer too. It was about 1.5 inches longer, and I just took it and cut it off, because if you didn't, it was going to stick out the bottom side of the nacelle. So what I did to modify this, I just took this and kind of laid it up on its side like this, and kind of got it to where it needs to be. I kind of went off the 5/3/7 scale Reliant and looked at where the edge of the pylon, front of the pylon, met up here to this little crystal, and I just kind of set it up there, and you took my my Sharpie marker and cut it out there, and then I measured this piece widthwise, and come to find out it's about a 1/2 inch wide, and lo and behold, this piece that's right here, this third hump up here, is about a 1/2 inch wide. So I cut it just a little shy of a 1/2 inch, and got it set down, got it just about perfect to where it'll sit down in there. So we got that, got that piece, and I did that on both of them. So it's coming along, guys. Like I said, there's a lot of work to this kit to be done. This is something that you don't want to rush into. You don't want to rush. This is a kit that's not for the faint of heart. If you're a beginner builder, you might want to hold off and get a few kits under your belt first, because this kit here is a lot of work. I mean, there's a lot to tackle on this ship. I'm not saying discouraging it, but if you want to, I'd watch there's a lot of videos out there on this, a lot of good people on Facebook who know how to work on this kit, and YouTube community has quite a few videos on this too. So but as far as this is okay for experienced builders, but this is not something you want to do when you're first starting out. You might want to get a few other things under your belt first, but it's going to take some time. You still got to go back through. I got to go back through and clean these pieces off. I'll take some, I'll soak them in a little bit of water, and then I might go back through with a little bit of rubbing alcohol, or just a little bit of watered down acetone, and just kind of lightly go across here to get that release agent off of it. And then you got to go back through and do your sanding, like I said. Now on this one, for the other side, I've already started sanding the pieces off, sanding them off a little bit. Still got to go back through and clean them up a little bit more and get them ready. But these will be, ready to primer and get the paint and stuff on that and everything else. So it's a lot of work, guys, a lot of work. But in the results, I've seen a lot of these kits. If you go to the Facebook community and look up Marshall Custom Models on Facebook, he's almost through with his kit. He's got a good kit going on. It looks beautiful. He had a paint snafu with the main body, and he got it fixed and has it Aztec and everything else, and it's turned out just absolutely beautiful. I can't wait to get my Aztec painting, my masking to come through on this, and all that. So, but we're going to go through here and do the Raytheon lighting for the nacelles on the back side on either side. We're going to go through and do the real pretty blue blue chiller grills and we'll go through on how to do all that and get this thing ready for paint and prime, and we'll get all this together, and then we'll go through and show you how to get this mounted in, because these nacelles, if you notice on your Reliants, the smaller Reliant kits that you've done, the pylon isn't sitting straight up and down. It's kind of at an angle. So you kind of want to make sure that when you're doing this, you're going to have to make it at an angle to where when it's hanging off, the nacelle will lay straight, and you don't want it to be off or in whatever. So make sure you take your time on that. So, but that's just about it, guys, for this video. We're just going to keep it brief. Like I said, it's kind of hard to work out in 20-something degree weather, but we'll keep you updated on part number 5. Should have the nacelles light blocked, and get all the wiring done, get all the wiring ran up through the pylons. We're going to have, it's going to take a little bit of time because these little tubes are small, so that's why I like using the magnet wire. If you don't use magnet wire on these, you might want to. I might suggest you switch to it, because there's not going to be a whole lot of room to put the standard wire through here without it causing any problems, because these holes are just they're tiny, and you want to make sure you have a good enough wire to run through, because you're going to have 3 circuits running through, and so. Like I said, guys, it's just going to be a lot of work, and there possibly might even have to be where I have to trench out the wire, because the hole for the ship is going to come through here. So I may end up having to trench out this part just a little bit right here. Let me get you back in shot there. But I may have to trench out just a little bit right here on the other side of this, just this side of the pole, to get the wires, the nav and strobe and the nacelle, the chiller grill light wires all the way back up into this point. So we'll probably end up going to have to do that, and then we can run the strobe light from the top down into the bottom here and tie it into this circuit. So but we'll take you through all that and keep you up to date on that. So but that's it for now, guys. We'll keep you up for another update probably next Wednesday, hopefully, if not next Friday, depending on how much more work I can get done on it. Like I said, we have a cold snap coming through right now, so it's not going to be beneficial for me to be out here working. The paint won't dry right and all that kind of stuff, so even with the heater, it's still going to be kind of cold out here. So but we'll keep you updated on that, and set you in for part 5 as well. So until then, guys, take care and stay safe, and happy modeling, everybody.